balanced with your mind, body, spirit, your actions will be aligned with that.
Did you have any blocks in your own mind?
Not everybody are in the same pitch, right? To be frank, even I was not that person. I didn't have enough patience.
When you enter into any industry, everybody is asking for Canadian experience.
It is not that the certification that gets you in, it is who you are gets you in. Our kid was 2 months old. That's the time I lost my dad.
Make sure invest in yourself.
It's like a bedtime routine. It has become. It just started out of fun, and now it has become a routine.
How do you reach out to people, to educate them this?
That worked. He was very smart. He doesn't speak, but he gets the job done.
He knew your strength and he pulled you into the right direction, right?
Traveling makes you thank the world, which
Yes.
is not so perfect anymore.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rai Connect, where stories inspire and journeys unite. I am Sakshata Rai.
And I'm Pranita. Today we have an incredible duo with us. They are a power couple who have balanced their career and also ventured into entrepreneurship together.
Their story is going to be really interesting and inspiring. They moved to Canada with a background of highway engineering and supply chain management, and now they've taken a leap into running their own financial advisory business.
And a fun fact, one of them is a yoga professional. Let's dive into their conversation today and let's welcome Shivaraj and Varsha.
Thank you, Sakshita. Thank you, Pranita. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So, in any podcast we generally start off by asking where you come from and, what made you come to Canada. So let's start with the same question for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's my turn.
Okay.
All right.
Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first. So yeah, it's an amazing journey so far. So we are back home from Shimoga, Karnataka. Both are from the same town and childhood buddies, by the way. And so 2018 we moved to Canada. We are engineers by the background. I'm an electrical engineer. He's a civil engineer. It's been an amazing journey in Canada, I would say, and glad we decided. So what actually inspired us to think about it? So basically, first of all, when we moved was for his higher studies, to pursue his higher education. And after we came here, the things started to shift, and there were a lot of changes that we had to make through pivoting into different industry as well. So that's how the financial services industry came into picture in our life, and we are so grateful we did think about it actually.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great to hear about that. I think every immigrant, whoever comes to this country, I think they'll come and for a fresh start or, for better opportunities here. They come with their family. And I think once they land here is when the reality kicks in, right? And they'll go through so many challenges in those initial days.
Yeah.
So how was your, transition, while coming from India to Canada, those initial days? So how was it for you transitioning into a new life here?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I was a civil engineer. Then what happens in India, they say, oh, only bachelor is not enough. Get into your next degree. So got into masters with highway engineering. I started working as an assistant professor. Then luckily I got something breakthrough to work with the UNDP program, like United Nations.
Nice.
So I was working in Ethiopia for some time. Started making decent money. Good thing about UNDP programs is every money you make is tax free. Okay. So then I decided, okay, if I want to be in the same field, like in the teaching field, I have to do my PhD so that it gives me a better endeavor. So I thought, okay, let's do it in a better country. So that's where I moved to Canada, and then being here for some time, started looking. One thing you mentioned, the reality kicks in when we enter Canada.
Yeah.
It was not only for a job, even for studies.
Right.
So for me, they asked me to get into 1 year MSc, and then from second year, they said they'll post me in PhD program. That's where I started looking for opportunity. Did I really have to get into PhD, or should I look for something else? And then that's where I ended up being in finance industry.
Also, it must be quite an adjustment, right? Like moving from India, there's a lot of cultural difference, right? How did you guys cope up with the culture, back home working and working in Canada? What was some of the cultural difference you saw?
That's an interesting question, by the way. So cultural difference with the professional, and I'll also talk about the personal point. So when we moved to Canada, to be honest, we didn't know anybody, right? So it's always through reaching out to community, networking with people, and trying to understand how can we leverage the community better and what can we do better. Or rather than sitting at home thinking that, hey, I'm in the new country, I don't know what I'm going to do, will I be able to? So the way we showcase ourselves, the way we outreach, that matters. End of the day, professionally for me, when we moved, I was a design engineer with the G Healthcare back home in Bangalore.
Yes.
And then the reason I had to pivot to supply chain was that particular opportunity was available within the same firm. Okay. And then I reached out to the managers. End of the day, the power story matters. The way we articulate ourselves matters, right? So then I told, hey, here is me. I'm trying to move because my husband is pursuing PhD. So can I come in and fit in any of the roles? That was my approach. And then, okay, we went through the interview, and luckily and coincidentally, there was a spot available for me. So I got in, and then that's how the journey started. Initially, everything was new. People here are new. Every ethnicity, every background, people are there because it's a immigrant country and land of opportunities, right? So I'm blessed, I would say. Whomever I've met, they've been very good to me. And there was one Kannada couple whom I got through my company channel. And first, I think 1 week, the lunch and the dinner came from their home. They didn't even know me. So they didn't even know us. So it was such a big deal, because for them to come meet us and also give food when we were trying to figure out a way. So that's we are so thankful for them. So that's how the journey started, and blessed to meet all the great people on the way, actually.
Right.
Yeah, we hear this a lot. People here are
Yeah.
really, they are really good.
Yeah.
Mainly, Canadians, I would say. And also, it's always definitely like you're very blessed when when you know someone here, when you land and they help you. Otherwise, like you're, coming without knowing what help you will get here, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always challenging. I think that part initially when you're setting up things, you need those
Yes.
help from
The boost.
others.
Yes.
Shivraj, you did you do PhD in highway engineering?
No, that's what I mentioned, right? Like I came here to do PhD, but since they asked me experience,
Oh,
I didn't wanted to get into that role. Like,
right.
when I was doing masters, I knew how I completed. It's not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of work and all that. So PhD is again like yeah, it adds up like a doctor in front of your name, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't really work. Like I started thinking about it, and since I was already married after coming here, so there's like other responsibility I have to look up to. So I said, okay, why not think about something else? Because Canada is land of opportunity.
Of course.
There are so many things I enrolled to, but this is one I got stuck to. So now I'm doing PhD in finance industry.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and how long ago was this? When did you guys come to Canada?
In the year 2018.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So when you came here, how did you venture out into getting into financial advisory as such?
Yeah, so what happened, like I was met by some random person. He was also from Karnataka, and like he said, they were running a financial literacy campaign, and like we are running a workshop. Why don't you come and see? Because I was an immigrant, and I also mentioned through UNDP program, you don't pay any taxes, right? So every penny I made was tax free. But moment you come to Canada, like you start earning, you pay tax. You spend, you pay tax. So I was like, okay, what's happening? Let me have to, get through those, like how to manage. So that's where I started attending these workshops and then I got an opportunity. I felt it, okay, I can also do this, right? It's not only, I didn't know there was money in it, but just for my understanding purpose, I joined. And later I realized, okay, there's also huge money in it.
So Shivraj, have you worked in highway, engineering in Canada at all?
No, like most of them, my known circle, most of them, they suggested me to go for it.
Okay.
They said like, okay, because you see like a lot of highway constructions going on and it's easy to get into. But when I started attending these workshops, I realized Canada is not for employment. So it's like huge taxes and everything. So I said, okay, I have to build my own business. Like I have to get into entrepreneurship. So I started focusing on that. I didn't wanted to get into that 9 to 5 rat race, so I just came out of it.
So, Varsha, you said you're working in the supply chain management, right? So, how is your career so far, and how has the transition been from the earlier days to how it is now?
Yes, absolutely. So I currently work as a regional supply chain head with GE Healthcare. Of course, there is certification, little bit of studies that is needed. But I'm going to take you into a different conversation here. Why? Because the day I joined from being a design engineer to supply chain professional within the same company, most importantly, of course, certification will come along the way. People can get into supply chain management certificate and learn like a 6 months course and so. For me, it was different because end of the day, the way you transition yourself, how much open to receive you are, and how can you kind of move yourself in the journey matters. Your power story matters. So right, so it is not that the certification that gets you in, it is who you are gets you in. That's what I believe in. So then I went into the company without the certification, by the way, with my same qualification which I had back home. So then I learned everything while I was doing the job. So I think there is an industry, specification that when I mentor people, I kind of talk about this. People think, okay, Varsha, I don't know this. Should I do this certification? Should I? No. End of the day, what do you want? Are you confident enough to showcase? You might have 10 certifications, but are you able to portray yourself even with those? So that's where the confidence building comes into picture. So end of the day, your power story matters. So that's what I want to highlight. So for me, I went into the professional like supply chain management through my own experience. I learned the job when I was working with the company, and then transitioned from there into multiple roles.
Right.
Yeah.
And supply chain is like quite vast, right?
It
Like,
is.
and it's always evolving too.
It
right?
is, yes.
And like there is supply chain in logistic, manufacturing.
Yes.
So what do you specialize in?
I specialized in a whole and soul of supply chain for the company. To be honest, I manage multiple commodities, and of course, logistics is one of them.
Okay.
And I do have multiple stakeholders in different sectors who work with me.
Right.
But I become as a point of contact for them to run the business with me, right?
Okay.
So I come with every aspects. I would say logistics, IT, telecom, the professional services. I touch upon every industry, every bit by bit.
Okay. So just in case, like, as you said, you need to portray yourself,
Correct.
right? But if somebody wants to get into that and into supply chain management and they want to do a certification, do you know of any like which they can?
Yes, there are supply chain management board and accreditations in Canada, in Ontario itself.
Okay.
Through LinkedIn, you will be able to reach out to those council, or reach out to me. I can help you connect with those councils, and then we can figure out how the certifications can be articulated.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and initially, whenever like immigrants come here, and I have gone through this as well, right? When you enter into any industry, everybody is asking for Canadian experience, right? Did you have to face that challenge, or was it easier for you, like compared to others, because you came to the same company but different domain? I would say, was it easier or difficult for you?
Lucky enough, it was easy for me. But the only challenge was because we moved through PR, there was no internal company transfer opportunity that time. I had to quit the job there and come back here and join as a consultant, and then transition into an employee. So, but I would say it was pretty easy.
And now with the new technology and with the global disruption, what is going on currently, where do you see Canada in supply chain?
Of course, day in and day out, we speak about the supply chain disruption, and there is scarcity, and also global tariffs and the wars coming into picture, right? But Canada has a huge potential with respect to supply chain, because there are more and more industries evolving. I would say startups, like a lot of startups are coming out, right? So then, yes, definitely a huge opportunity in the supply chain sector for sure.
Yeah, that's a great info. Like, I think whoever, all our listeners, if they are interested in switching their career, or if they are interested in the supply chain management, you know whom to reach. Yeah. So now let's switch to Shivraj.
Yep.
So you have made a big leap from highway engineering and now into the finance industry, right? So how was the transitioning experience for you in that field?
Yeah, it's like I would say it was not easy, but if I look back, it's easy, right? So I would like to also ask you a question. Like, people ask me why finance industry, right? So one thing, like, do you know which is the highest paid industry in the world?
IT.
That's what I
So
think.
That's where you come from.
that's the first thing comes to our mind, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what like people make money and everything.
Yeah.
But the real answer is sports and entertainment.
Oh,
The reason being they get something called royalty. So
okay.
they do, like, Michael Jackson. He's
Yeah.
no more, but his foundation is still making money, right? Because of the royalty, it keeps on going. The second highest paid industry is finance.
Okay.
Reason being, we have like something called trailers, right? So when I heard that first time, I was like, okay, what is this all about? But then I realized, okay, there is much more than what we don't know,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I started realizing. So the best example I would give is, so I told I was a professor. I taught so many students. Even I was in Bangalore, I taught so many, and some of them are here in Canada, and they are doing well. So when they come back and meet me, they will say, "Hi, how are you, sir? All good? It's all good, right?" But they will not give me, "Oh, Shivaraj, you did a great job in 2012. Take this $1,000."
Yeah.
Will anybody do that?
No.
Whatever the profession you worked before, will they do it? Will they come back and say, oh, whatever you're done, take this money back? No, right? But in finance, it happens. Whatever the investments I do, so I get that trailers every year until the money sitting in there. So it's a huge money. It's a passive income in the long run. So when I realized all those things, I started focusing more into this. And obviously, you need to get license and all that. So I did that, and like luckily doing.
So did you have any mentors? Did you do your own research or how was it?
So as I mentioned, like, they run it as a system. So we have a system to run a campaign, like National Financial Literacy campaign. So I was invited by somebody to get into this campaign, and like he was the same person who mentored me to guide me how it can be transitioned from my engineer to a financial advisor, right? So main thing when he invited, it was only purpose of having a knowledge, but he was also later when I was interested to get into that licensing part, he was there to guide me and like make me sure that understand, because everything is new. I was an engineer, like now coming into a financial industry is pretty much everything new. He guided me. We have a system to guide people who want to take a shift. Yes, we guide them from end to end.
As you said, it was a switch from something totally different to something totally new, right?
Yeah.
What was the, like, did you have any blocks in your own mind, which was like, I don't know if I will ever be able to get into this. Is it possible to, switch careers or something like that? Did you have any roadblocks?
100%. It's not easy, right? When you shift from like engineer to something else, it took almost like for me, I would say 2 years to really get like understand what is this all about. Because as I mentioned, like trailers and all that, I didn't understand anything in the initial days. It took me when I gave time getting deeper into it. That's where I started realizing, okay, there is money in it. So initial part was totally different. It was not easy, and more importantly, as you asked, doubt, right? The first and foremost thing skills is our own doubt. Forget about the society, is our own doubt kills us first, right? Okay, is it for me, or okay, like, can I do it, can I be here? So to be frank, I started enrolling for different courses too. I registered for real estate, I registered for event management, I also registered for yoga teacher training. Only thing I completed was yoga teacher training. So all other thing I just quit. I just started focusing here. But yes, it was not easy. I had all my blocks, but I cleared it on the way.
So I think there's in every industry there is a chance to upscale, and for you, I think engineering to the financial industry, like you had a new qualification itself, right? The whole. Are there any like exams or certifications? Like what are some of them, if there is any?
Yeah, like especially in Canada, everything is regulated. Even for a haircut, you need to have a license to open a salon, right? So we are dealing with the people money, so it's highly regulated. So we need to get a license from Ministry of Finance through FSRA, Financial Service Regulatory Authority. So they are the one who gives license. I had to go through that like couple of exams, and then like you are ready to go.
Is it like
sure.
a 1 year course, 2 year course, or something like that?
No, it's at your own phase. It's like online course, or like only the main exam you have to write it in center, but you can take it at your own phase. I have seen people finishing it in 1 month. People finish it in like 2 months. It's all up to you. But it's like self-studies thing, and it's not that difficult. you need to understand like little bit terminologies because Canadian terminology is different. One example I would give is like estate, right? So what comes to your mind when I say about estate?
Estate? I think from India, I only know coffee estate.
That's that's
Yeah.
exactly I answered. Tea estate or a rubber estate, right? But like that's what we hear. But everything here is related to money.
Correct.
So that is what is estate here. So that's for small things. When you understand, you'll be fine.
I'm thinking, for you, all terminologies, I think, pretty much new, right? I
Yeah.
think it takes a courage to learn new different things.
How was it for you? Like, so even in your case, you did engineering, right? And now you're like kind of transitioning, I would say, into financial advisory.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? Did you have roadblocks and did you go through self-doubt?
No, oh yes. So mine is an interesting story why I came in. So back home, it was mostly everything was managed by dad, and dad used to tell, okay, this is how you're going to invest. This is where your money is going to go. All I did was went to job, came back with the salary, and figured out, right? But moving to Canada, we had to be self-sufficient, and we have to be on our own foot. So one day I looked at my paycheck and I'm like, wait a minute, where's my money going? And then everything was going to taxes, like at least most of it. Everybody knows about it, right? And then he told me, hold on, this is what I was telling you. Come back to the workshop and learn, because every workshop that happens at the center is free of cost. 1 hour on a Saturday morning doesn't hurt, right? So then I went through the workshops. Then I understood where my gaps were, and then that helped me fix. And then I told him, hey, wait a minute, if this is that easy, why can't I get the license and why can't I start the journey with you? That's how I came in. Basically, it took some time for him to convince me, by the way. And then once he found that sweet spot, he's like, come back to office now. And then, yeah, that worked. He was very smart. He doesn't speak, but he gets the job done.
Yeah, that's important, right?
Small story on that. Like
Yeah.
initially when I asked her to come and attend workshops, she was like, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't enroll me into anything all this. I'm like, I get only like, weekends
Yeah.
to rest.
Yeah.
Let me sleep. Let me have my time.
Yeah.
I said, like, when she came back with that pay stub, I said, okay, one day you come and attend and like at least start understanding that.
Yeah.
And after that, like once she attended that workshop, she came on board, and more than that, she was kicking me like next day Saturday morning. She was early to wake up and make sure, oh, we are getting ready. We are going
We
together.
are going.
So like
Yeah.
make it ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that changes when we know the real
Value.
understanding about finance.
Yeah, and one of the point I don't want to miss here. So the day I went into the office, it's a huge community of happy people. Everybody are smiling. They're so cheered up. And who will be so cheered up on a Saturday morning, right? So and I'm like, what's happening here? And they come, they greet you, and then they become our family. It's the huge community impact that kind of made me think, okay, this is where I belong, and then the journey started. And of course, I went into the licensing process. I started the journey. Everything happens through when you have a good mentor. So the team here, especially under organization what we belong to, Prosperolite, the mentorship is amazing. And so we learn, we earn, and then we travel with life. With the team, and the lifestyle kicks in and everything. So it's an amazing journey. And for me, more than that, one another point I want to highlight here is when the campaign came, and when we hear the stories of individual or a couple who are here for a long time, say 20-25 years, their hardship they go through, but one thing that was lacking in the whole journey was money mindset. And how did they manage their hard-earned money. So then the purpose came into picture, and I'm like, okay, my service is required because it helped me, and then I'm going to help others as well. So yeah, that's the whole journey. I'm so happy that we are in this industry.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
great to hear, and it's really sweet. I feel like he knew your strength,
Yeah.
and he pulled you into
Yeah,
the right
completely
direction,
better.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
When you talk about strength, she can talk to you on like stone and make that the contact.
Okay. So you know her strengths
Yeah,
really well.
like, okay,
That's good.
go there.
So now that both of you are into this industry, the financial advisory industry, what are some of the products or services you guys offer?
Everything insurance, everything investments, like overall financial services, by the way. So we call it as from womb to tomb, right? So every concept, every service, every product that is available, because we don't have our own product. We are a distribution channel. So we work with the top insurance and investment companies in Canada, and we distribute that to the consumer free of cost. Most important, because we get paid through the financial institutions. And first and foremost, it's not just okay going and telling here is your product. No, everything happens through education. Teach first what is important here and how can they learn better, what changes they have to make for themselves, and then offer a solution and help with the implementation. So it's a step by step process.
Right. And so you all conduct workshop in your
Yes.
institution, like in your,
In
sorry,
the
in your
office.
office.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of workshops are those?
So there are 6 different workshops. So one will be on increasing cash flow, debt management, how do they maintain their asset accumulation strategy, retirement planning, estate planning, and how one family or oneself should have a proper protection when it comes to Canada. Because most important is the coverage we go through, because we see a lot of GoFundMe's out there all the time, right? So it's not bad, but the lack of information is what was missing there.
Correct.
So yeah, so first we provide those conceptual information, and then once they learn, people know what the gap is and they can figure out themselves. So end of the day, the mission is every home there should be a financial expert, so that if I know what is happening with my money, then I'll be able to strategize it better rather than somebody else telling me, hey, you can do this, right? So yeah.
Do you cover all these topics in like one day, or every weekend?
No,
you have
that's the
different
beauty.
topics?
It's so simplified that every week there is one topic.
Okay.
So, and it keeps on recurring again. Once the whole cycle finishes, we come back to the topic one.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as you guys mentioned, like you conduct workshop in your office, right? So is like so do they have to enroll into something before they come in? Like if there is any website or something that they have to enroll into?
Yes, they can either reach out to us, or
Okay.
we will provide the website details. They can also plug in there,
Okay.
or the timing and everything will be displayed on our social media website, so
Right.
they can get into that. Yeah.
Good thing about that is we have it like different locations. It's not only at like one location. We did it from like Oakville office, like my office is that, but we have like 15 different locations.
Okay.
Like somebody is like in this Durham region, like they can go to Pickering, and like we have it in like Mississauga, we have it in Brampton, we have it in like London, Ontario. So we have it in like Barrie, so we have it in like Kitchener. So anywhere like people nearby, so they can go to nearby offices and like we can help them with that.
So you have a team. It's not just 2 of you, but you have
Yes.
various people in different locations. Right?
Yes, true.
That's how it works. Okay. So running a business, as a couple is, I don't know, I don't have the experience, but I would like to know from you, because it comes with its own challenges, and some say like it, strengthens their bond, right? So how is it for you? Like, how do you balance, work and personal life?
Good question. Did it strengthen?
It starts with a fight first and then it strengthens. So now because each and everything is open, right? Like, so I know where I'm going, like what is happening. She had to know what is, what meetings I have, because both of us calendar is like attached. So we know what time is we are free, we are not free. So there are so many things, good and bad, but yes, it strengthens
Initially,
in a long
of course,
time.
it's the transition, right? And then we know our schedules, we know how we will run the day to day. It became a free flow. So for me, definitely it's a plus because of the flexibility it gives us. And then we know, okay, what time he's available. And if, oh, I have a cook at home, by the way. So if I'm working, then yeah, he's like, because he has that flexibility. He's like, okay, don't worry, you finish your meetings, you finish your office work, I'm gonna cook. So then, yeah, that happens. And pick up drop with the kids, you did not have to worry, oh, I'm in the office, can somebody pick my kid or put it in the after school? No, that's not necessary when we have that flexibility. So that is the greatest plus point for sure. Yeah.
So, do you have, like, because you specifically, you're into the financial advisory business, but you're juggling supply chain management, you're working full time and managing your business and managing a child as well, both of you for that matter. So, how do you have me time? Okay.
Always. So I tell you what, I don't know, COVID sometimes becomes a blessing, I would say. We had to go through a lot of struggle during the COVID time. Of course, I'll touch upon that later. But right now, good news is my office is in Mississauga. We live in Mississauga. So it's like, okay, twice a week or once a week I go to office. If there are any important meetings, I go, but mostly I work from home.
Okay.
So that's the hybrid model the office has given us, which is great. after my office hours, because of the flexibility, all I have to put effort is maybe one or two meetings, or maybe help the team go into the next level. He has allocated me quite a few of the tasks so that I'm not, into that burnt out zone. Rest everything he manages, and then one or two calls here and there, I'm fine. That's easy, right? What do people do after the work? Watch Netflix, right? So if I can productively use that time, then that is my 5-year transition. Like, I need not be in the same spot forever until I retire. So we move into the zone of genius quickly. So I love what I do. So then there is no burn time. That is my me time.
So that okay. So using that time to
Yeah.
work on your business
Yeah.
is your me time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's amazing to know that you have me time. So Shivraj, do you have a me time?
Oh yeah, same way like what she was mentioning. So since we do a campaign thing, so when somebody says, when I go and explain the concepts, when they feel that, oh, it was informative, I feel like so blessed.
Yeah.
So that is like kind of a me time. Like, so I feel relaxed, right?
Yeah.
So that helps me. And obviously, like morning, I have a routine for the meditation and all that. So I keep myself with that. So yes, I have a me time.
Okay, that's amazing. You just said you run campaigns, right?
Yeah.
So do you run campaigns for like newcomers or like new PR who
Yeah.
has just arrived in the country, or students? Do you run any campaigns for them in specific?
Yeah, it's like, it's also, I feel it's kind of very important for them, because I get a lot of questions, like, because when people come here on work permit, they're confused whether like get a PR or like they stay it or they go back, right? And like maybe they'll be making some decent income, whether I should invest in RRSP or like some other investments, will I get benefited? Or especially like new immigrants who came on PR, they're like confused. Most of the time, what happens when they land here, most of them will tell, I go back to India in 5 years or like in 10 years, and like they tend to push.
Yeah.
Right?
We all.
So what happens with that, they don't invest in like certain stuff, like thinking that they will go back, but are they getting benefited out of it? So those things will be addressed when I sit with them and like explain, and especially with the campaign too, we make sure that they understand those basics. Then they can make a decision. When they have the knowledge, they can choose what they want to do. But at least they have an idea now. Okay, will it benefit me now or like later? So they can decide on that. So it's very important for them to understand, and we help them with that too.
Yeah, that's very valuable information that you have given. I think for any immigrant or newcomer who are aspiring to, be in the financial industry maybe, or if they are looking for more information on the savings and investments and all that, then it's great to hear that you guys are helping them. So for anybody who is interested in this field, just curious to know, like, what industries or companies do you collaborate with?
We have like multiple providers. So as Varsha was mentioning, we are a distribution channel, so we don't own any product. So we just like deal with like multiple companies. Like one of them is like Manulife, like major ones. Then like Industrial Alliance, like Ivari, then like Equitable Life. In terms of like investments, we also deal with Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. So everybody knows about these companies, right? So it depends on like which company I choose for an individual. So when I sit with that, like understand, okay, what is his role? So like why is investing, and what is his goal for next 5 years? Depending upon that, I choose funds, and like each company has a different funds options. So I choose a better one, like, okay, for smaller or like short term, I can go with this company, or like maybe longer term, I can choose this fund through this company. So that's the flexibility we have, and like that really matters. When I have a choice, I can service better.
Yeah, I feel like it's a one-stop shop for them.
100%.
Because banking institutions, you just go with like you would know, okay, I need to open this account,
Yes.
so I go to the banking institution, right? But your institution is not like that. You have information on everything if they want to know about that.
Yes, there are more than 85 plus providers partnering, and you mentioned, right, including a couple of banks, because it's the unique product that has been designed. Like, okay, mortgage from BMO, and then there is
Mutual fund from
TD,
TD.
RBC, and every company has uniquely designed product, which they have made available for us.
Just a question. You just said, right, like how to invest their fund short term, long term. Now, say for example, they invest in something. Let me say like a mutual fund or something. Then they want to remove it for whatever reason. Emergencies happen. So then, is there a process for that as well?
Yeah, like it depends on the which product you're investing. Like there are different products based on that. Some you can withdraw, some you cannot. So there are, yes, so end of the day, like TFSA, yes, you can put it money today and tomorrow you can withdraw. So most of them, like that's what I said, knowing a client, why they're investing and like is it for a short term or a long term, we choose. I suggest them, okay, this is the best product for you. Or if it is a long term, okay, this is the best product for you. So that like I can make a customized plan depending upon their need and analysis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great. Financial industry is like constantly evolving, on day-to-day basis. How do you, cope up with the latest changes or policy changes? How do you keep yourself updated?
Yeah, we have a training, like, every day we have a training from different providers. Whatever the providers I mentioned just now, we have a training from everybody. And like we just like get to know what is happening. And like I should also be studying, looking at like some news and like keep up what is happening in the outside world too, because everything matters. We are dealing with like people money here, right? So I should be aware of what is happening. So I do that. Plus we have a trainings. And since like as I said mentioned before, so it's like a regulated industry. I need to have a continuous education. So I should be learning on a regular basis.
Yep.
So while renewing my license, I also show that proof that I studied. So we have to do that.
Yeah, so it's ever evolving.
Yeah,
It is,
it's
it is.
continuous education.
Yes,
It's
so
continuous
learning will
education.
never stop,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So I know that you guys have a little one.
Oh yeah.
So does he understand finances by any chance?
We have a 5-year-old. His name is Anav. A beautiful, charming fella, and he's a good partner of ours, I would say, because he knows our schedule. He knows when do we go to office and what exactly happens in the office. He is a buddy of everybody in the office, irrespective of their age. And he's the one pushing us. Hey guys, it's Saturday, we have to go. It's Wednesday, we have to go. He's so interested in that. That's because, most importantly, the amount of travel we have done, like within Canada, outside Canada as well, because every year we go as a community to different countries for vacation.
Okay.
So he has been, spending great time with the other kids as well. So that's the best part. So when I say his interest to finance or the money part of it, one thing that was always that is missing, and day to day we speak about it, that basically how to save money and how to grow money, that is not being taught in the schools and colleges. It's not a topic, right? It's not a subject, I would say. And now I know government is putting efforts, and there are a lot of changes that is coming into the education plan as well. Because of our campaign, like we go to schools and colleges, and when we campaign, he's with us all the time, and he knows what is happening. And he has his little piggy bank, and he's okay, I'm gonna save my money in this, and then okay, is it gonna grow? Yeah, it will grow one day, and I'm gonna buy toys and books and whatever I want. So he has that knowledge, and I would say he's in the right path. Because something that we missed, we shouldn't be thinking, hey, I should have done this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But if you have that right mindset, you start from the right go. So yeah, he's a cheerleader for us.
Yeah.
So he asked me if I'm sitting there on like a Wednesday evening. He said like, you are supposed to be at office.
Office, what are you doing here? Yeah.
So yeah, he's already into that mindset.
Mindset.
One thing, like he's turning 5 this April 30th, but he already traveled 6 countries
Yeah.
other than India.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the marketing side of this, right? So how do you reach out to people, to educate them basically?
That's a good one. So one thing is community outreach. Then of course, thanks to social media, it's always the social media campaigns that is running. And then it's like spread the literacy. So if I know what I'm doing is pure, then I'm gonna tell whomever I meet, hey guys, how you maybe this is important for you. Think about it, right? So yeah, it's always the community outreach.
When you say community outreach, do you do like campaigns in community centers or something
Yes,
like that? Okay.
libraries, community centers, schools, colleges, and corporations, small businesses. We run, like, either we invite them to our office, or we meet at their firm, and we tell them about the concepts. And if there is sharing information,
Right.
and then yes, I think we have done a couple of them in corporations as well. So it's
Okay. That's good. That's nice to know that you're not just getting into the industry, but also spreading the knowledge. Quite a lot.
Yes.
So I think it's time for us to go for one session, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. We would love to plan that. So I want to highlight one thing, so which literally touched me. On the occasion of Women's Day, I was in one of the events in downtown from Pride Toronto. Okay, it's a collaboration, by the way. I was just happened to be there with a friend, and one of the sponsorer of that event was a shelter home owner from Ernst Homes for women and kids from abuse and things, which they provide a wonderful shelter for those women in need. I happened to touch upon this information, and then just last week we figured out a strategy to go there and help those women with the information sharing session and see how we can partner better. So they're so happy about it because that's exactly what they need empowerment, and they need to know how can they grow money and become somebody instead of thinking about the lack and limitation. So yeah, so that's the huge thing.
I'll mention one thing why it is important, like why to have a knowledge. When I started like going and meeting like a couple like on a regular basis, like I was sitting with one couple. So I was just like doing a presentation and like oh, this is important for you, this product is good for you, and like one of the product we did was like TFSA, and like everybody knows about it. Then most of the things she was knowing, like, and when I started about TFSA as a tax-free account and everything, and by the way, they were 17 years in Canada, and I'm only like 9 years. And I was like, okay, do you have it? Like, wife said, like, no, I don't have it. Like, then looked at like husband, Mr. Husband, what is happening? Oh, everything is taken care by Mr. Husband. Mr. like, okay, what is happening? Oh, I have it. So husband says, okay, I have it, but like not, but like wife is saying, okay, everything is managed by my husband.
Yeah.
So her wife didn't even had a TFSA account for such a long time. So what's the biggest thing she missed it on, right?
Yeah.
So that one thing I highlight. So it's very important for both the couple to have understanding about the finance.
Yeah, I think when you're saying about this financial education, right? I think me personally, I didn't know the value of RRSP account, to be honest. And like here in Canada, the employers, they always match how much ever you contribute, they match so much to a certain limit, right? I didn't know the value of that, and I still regret that I didn't opt for it in the initial days. But now I have, after. But still, I have that regret, like why I didn't choose in during that initial days, right? But I think it's never too late to start.
Definitely,
anything, so,
definitely no.
Yeah.
As Sachita mentioned, even I was never aware about it. Not even RRSP, even RESP, right? Like for the kids
Kids
and stuff,
education,
which is very important, I feel like, because not that we as again coming from South Asia, we always think of our kids before us. But then even to think like where I can put my money so that my child has something secure towards them is kind of I think soothing a little bit.
It's such a great feeling.
So there's only few ways where you get like free money.
Correct.
And I tell all my clients, it is not like government giving money, it's your money. It's your tax money is coming back.
Correct.
Back to you, yes.
Yeah. Also, Shivaraj, now just switching from financial advisory to health and well-being, right?
That's our favorite topic.
Okay. So you said you completed only the yoga training certification. So what made you do that? Like what kind of took you to get into yoga?
So I started looking for yoga classes initially. So it was all like expensive. It was not like especially in Canada. When I started looking for yoga classes, it was like not a decent price. Initially we always compare to Indian rupees to Canadian dollar. So that's what I did. But when I started looking for a teacher training, he said, "Oh, you can take a teacher training. You get like 6 months unlimited classes for free." I said, like, okay, why not? So I'll get a certificate too, so that I can teach others, and then also meanwhile I can use the class for free. So that was a mindset I went to. But like ended up being a yoga teacher trainer, certified trainer. But that helped me a long way. Even now it is helping me. But that was not meant to train somebody else. Initial path was different, but like now I enjoy that.
So did you learn yoga in India? Or
No.
you came here and then
So in India I was practicing like with somebody else, like not like regular on and off. But after coming here I felt okay, I should get into my roots, so I should learn that in a proper way, just like watching like you videos. I said okay, let me go and learn from certified teacher. But I ended up being a certified teacher now.
So do you teach now?
I used to run even the studio with the partnership. But like after COVID, it went on a toss. Then I started like doing it online, but now because of a schedule, it won't, because most of them they want it in the evening, but like my evenings are like held up because of like financial services. So that's what like I'm not doing it like now, but like yes, I used to do it. But if somebody is interested in like learning early morning, yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
So you practice yoga like for your own, health benefits. You do it every morning, is it?
Yeah, that's helping me even in like financial industry, because since I'm dealing with people and not everybody are same, and each and everybody are different, so I need to keep up myself on that level to
Yeah.
balance. So that is helping me in both way. So I tell people like now I'm in a state of like I make people to if they're ready to give me time, so I'll make them healthy, live long, and also build their wealth to what happens in the long run.
Yeah.
Do you do it as a family, the yoga, or do you also do it?
Yes, I do it, not so regularly as him, but my portion of well-being is my intentional morning routine. I do have my journal practice, I do have my meditation practice, and thanks to the coaches I've been worked with, because for anything and everything for you to evolve, you need to have a coach. So we went through a mindset and wellness coaching journey, and then that's how we have that practice becoming our habit. So then after that, yes, I do have my exercise routine, and most importantly meditation. That what keeps me balanced.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. I think you already touched upon this. So your yoga journey is also helping your professional life.
Yeah.
Do you see any like stronger points like what you're taking away from your yoga journey with the professional?
Yeah, especially like I would say with the meditation, like when I'm balanced, so that like I have that patience to listen to a client.
Yes.
So as I mentioned, not everybody are in the same pitch, right? To be frank, even I was not that person. I didn't have enough patience.
Yeah.
So I was like angry, bird. So like I used to act that. But like now with that yoga and like keeping me balanced and like being in a certain level, so that I have that patience to listen to client, their needs, like what they are looking for. And it all depends again on the market and everything, right? So now what is happening because of the market, so all of a sudden client who told me, okay, I'm putting it for a long term, so invest in aggressive funds and all that, and all of a sudden like look, when the market is down, they call me, Shivaraj, what did you do with my money, so I should be balanced to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Even I can't say, oh, it's because of market, so I should keep up myself. That is helping me a long way for sure.
Yeah, it's something like, even personally with our own money, there's always ups and downs.
Yeah.
And now you're also, helping others with their financial thing. And you should be like strong headed, in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. Wealth and well-being we call. It's always about the inner harmony, right? Like if you are spiritually sound and you're balanced with your mind, body, spirit, your actions will be aligned with that.
Yeah.
You need not to go into the hustle and grind thinking that, hey, I have to work hard. No, you need not work hard. If you are balanced, then you will be aligned with your actions.
Yeah. And also, in today's world, especially, mental, health is so
That's-
important.
Yes.
I feel because of the stress we go through on a daily
Yeah.
basis, and
Yeah.
everything is so stressful now, right? Like
Yeah.
you kind of dive deep into everything now.
Everything,
So your
yes.
what gets affected mostly is your mental health.
Yes.
And when your mental health is affected, obviously your physical
Yeah.
well-being is affected.
Yeah.
And I really love the fact that you spoke about journaling.
Journaling, yeah.
Journaling, I feel like writing gratitude, and
Yes.
journaling makes you kind of thank the world, which
yes.
is not so perfect anymore. Right? Yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah.
Yes.
So do you practice it with your little one as well?
Yes, he is well versed in affirmations. He knows how exactly to shift the conversation into something which is not helping him, and how exactly he can talk through when he tell himself, okay, I am this, I'm confident, I'm doing great. So every day as we do the mantra practice, like we chant mantras when we do the prayer. So once that happens in the night, he does affirmations. It's like a bedtime routine. It just started out of fun, and now it has become a routine.
Wow.
So yes, journaling. He's not so much into writing yet, but he does do affirmations. And the one thing I would want to emphasize, it might help everybody as well who are looking to improve their confidence. Mirror understands, that helps amazingly well. When you are able to look into yourself eye to eye, when you're looking into the mirror, if you can do that, then you will be confident enough when you can, talk to others as well.
Wow.
So you have to first tell, okay, you are amazing, I am amazing, and then only I'll tell, okay, how amazing my work is, right?
Yeah, that's great to hear. So now let's just talk about your future plans.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, right? So what are some of your big like goals for the future in terms of your financial industry and also your wellness journey?
Yes, amazing. I will talk about mine and then we will add, because long term goal is amazing as well.
Okay.
So yes, both of us, we would love to take our business to the next level. 6 to 7 figure, of course, the more and more we service, that's how the circulation happens, right? So that's the plan for sure. Fully focused in building our business, fully focused in the leadership, and also building our team. We have a very amazing team. They are growing in the journey as well, so we would want more of them to succeed in their life so that we will succeed, right? So that's the goal for sure. And then apart from that, because a lot of other ventures also in the mind, as we focus on one, it's like one step at a time, but definitely it's a long way to go.
Yeah, main thing what I look up to is it's not only about me and Varsha, right? So because we came as immigrant, so we have seen like how we took a shift from like engineering to finance industry and all that. So I've seen like so many other people like thinking back, going back, like because it's not working and like they have like so many challenges and all that. So I feel like they should be helped. So my next focus is like, because not everybody are in the same page, not everybody are in the same frequency. What we mentioned, they may not take it, but there are few people who are really looking for it. They really want to change them, like they are big dreamers, I would call.
Yeah.
Right. For them, I really want to help and like okay, there's a way you can make it, right? So that's my main focus. And also in terms of like with the wellness, so I want to open my own retreat center.
Oh wow.
So that's my 5-year goal, so that people like, see, you was mentioning the mental illness is the biggest thing in going forward.
Yeah.
Especially Indians, we don't speak about it because we have gone through that, so we feel, oh, it's common, so it's nothing to share about it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a real good thing, like what people are going through. So that's where I feel there is a much need. So for people should go through that mental peace and they should have it. So that's my next focus, is on focusing on my retreat centers.
Wow. That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah.
And we're definitely looking forward for that.
Yes, absolutely. Because he touched upon the mental illness portion and why the South Asian do not openly talk about it,
Yes.
right? So speaking of me itself, so during the COVID, when our kid was 2 months old, that's the time I lost my dad. So we were here in Canada. It was a lockdown situation, postpartum plus the baby, and not going to, not able to meet the family. Only through video call we had to send, goodbye to him. So it was crazy transition. But what happened at that point in time was both of us went so low in the in our day to day life. Of course, it was baby who kept us alive, right? But deep inside, we were not openly talking that, okay, we need help, we are going through something. But I would say society, and it's the way we were brought up, we kind of suppress ourselves. Oh, what if I tell like this, whatever, right? And that's where the healing journey came into picture, and that's how we were able to get in touch with amazing people from the coaching industry and the community. And then we healed ourselves so well, and now we know how important it is, how important the mental health and also trauma healing is, right? And that's another portion of our game, which we want to make sure that so many people get helped.
First of all, sorry to hear about that. I mean, it's a big loss, and not going, not being able to go is even worse feeling, because it's someone who's so close to you, right? But you were just talking about, certain coaches you had, right? Do you have anyone in specific?
Oh yes. So one of the coaches, I think most of the Canadians know, he is Bob Proctor. He is from the Proctor Gallagher Institute. He's a world-renowned speaker and the coach. So that's how I started. And spiritually, there are coaches we connect with back home as well. And now I'm closely connected with the Diamond Academy. My coach name is Kathleen Cameron. You can look into her podcast and the YouTube videos and everything, for information. But there are a lot of coaches out there who are thriving in their business, and also the way they serve very specialized niche, right? One will be on the leadership, one will be on the mindset and the healing. Himself is he's connected to a lot of coaches back homes, like, because he don't want to miss the roots.
Right.
So most of the time what happens is like we tend to think, okay, do I really need it?
Yeah.
Because most of the information is available in YouTube. Like you go get into social media, we think, okay, I can grab that all that information. But mentor is not for like telling you that information. Information is different.
Yeah.
Mentor is for something else, to guide you, like to see what is happening, how you are growing. So I feel mentor is very important. Like he plays a very important role for a growth. So we were like bound to say, okay, try to find whatever for free. Like we grab whatever is for free, right? So that was, even I was in that mindset. Until unless we invest in ourselves, we won't grow. There's one thing we realized. So we started investing in mentors. So only after that we see we are growing, right? So that's a one thing I would say all viewers, make sure invest in yourself, right? So that's very important thing to do for ourselves.
Yeah, I think many of us, like I would say, whoever is going through this mental illness issues, I think it's hard for them to accept, or rather they don't accept that they are going through this. And always, I think they would be thinking about, how people judge them and all sort of things. I think that's what is, pulling them, or, I think if they open up, and there are so many people who can help them and all that, right?
Yes.
So, yeah,
Biggest
it's just
thing,
in you. Yeah.
we didn't know what is depression, what is anxiety.
Exactly.
Nobody can express what it is.
Yeah.
But if you look back, everybody went through it.
Yeah.
Only thing they didn't know how to express, right? So those things will really matter, whatever the areas where you're working, whether you're an employee, like we are business owner, wherever, like whichever the area, even like a mom, like, right? So everybody needs it. So they should understand what they are sitting and like where they are sitting now, and like how they can improve themselves, like so that they can be in a better state later.
There's always highs and lows in everybody's life.
Yeah, it has
it's
to.
okay to reach out
You
to
have
people
to
for
accept it.
help,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's-
yeah.
And as you guys mentioned, some of the stigma which is from back home, right? Like, actually, to be very honest, I've heard people say, "What is depression?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they've gone through it too.
Gone
Like,
through it.
because I think in a person's lifetime they go through it at least
At
once.
least once,
Don't know
yeah.
if it is going to be high or low, but there is definitely a phase, right?
Yeah.
And I am really very happy that you both touched that topic, because it will help a lot of people.
It will definitely help. Yeah.
There might be one person there who's not even knowing what to do, but this definitely gives them a platform to go forward, I guess. So we have actually covered a lot, as I mentioned. Like, we spoke about your financial advisory business, your supply chain management, and also most importantly, health and
The
well-being,
wellness,
right? So do you have anything to tell our listeners?
Ladies first.
Absolutely. One thing I want to make sure people, everybody, please reach out for help. Do not suppress yourself. Point number one, because moving from one country to another, settling here, starting a new life, it definitely takes a toll. Everybody have gone through that. Don't think, oh, what if I, tell if I'll be, judged or something. No, there is nothing like that. That is how the community is built up. That is how you will build a successful, strong community and a career as well. And regarding the financial part of it, any help with respect to your understanding the money concepts, if there is a debt issue, there is where you see, okay, the critical illness is coming into picture, I need help, how can I grow my money better, tax efficiently and everything, definitely reach out. We will be able to sit with you and discuss all your goals and how can we cover the holistic approach. End of the day, family well-being matter, and not to forget, money may not be the first thing, but it will dictate everything you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just to continue with that, like most of the time we tend to push, right? So when I sit with the clients and like ask, okay, are you investing or like you need to have something like that? Like, oh, I'm not making enough money. Like, let me do it like next year and all that. Say, I give this example. We know we need to wake up early in the morning. So we keep alarm, but there is something also attached to it. Snooze.
Right.
Same thing with the investments too. Like people tend to push, okay, let me get a better job, let me get a better hike. So then like I'll start doing it. So I would say don't think about that. Even if you're doing a $50 or leave a $100 or even less than that, yes, we have an options to do that. So don't think, oh, I only have $100 to invest every month. So that's the only thing. Or why should I go to an advisor for it? No, that is very important for you to why to go to an advisor because you don't want to lose your hard-earned $100.
Yeah.
Right? One thing is that. The second very important thing is don't think whatever the money you are making now will help you in the long run because with the inflation and all that, if you are not growing your money, you are wasting, you are losing money. So it's very important to grow your money in the right time, and the time is the only factor you have to grow early as possible, right? So understand that at the earlier age. The moment you wait, so you have to put in more money to grow and all that, right? So for me, if I look back, even I was in that state. I never like thought about saving and all that because into that habits, right? So it was not easy for me to even get out of that habit. So, but yes, you can do it. So reach out to the right people, get a right advice, and start investing from the day one, which makes more important. Second thing, people tell I don't have money. So yes, I want to invest, but there is no money. Yes, reach out. Let's see whether we can help out because there are ways where you can make money too. It's not only the employment.
Yep.
As I mentioned about the opportunity. Yes, there are opportunity you can make money. Like we can help with that too, right? So don't hesitate. Reach out. And most important about the well-being. Yes, it is very important to keep yourself stable because nobody else will take care of you. You should be the one to take care of yourself. So if you can love yourself, you can love others.
Yeah,
Right?
of
That's very
course.
important.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Varsha and Shivaraj. I think
Thank
this is a
you.
great insight, for our listeners, and I'm sure there will be many of them who is looking for help and they don't know where to go, whom to reach. And I think you guys are the perfect couple for helping them in this, at least in this industry, like because you have gone through those challenges in your initial days, so you know how it feels or how it is, how it helps when there is someone mentor you in all these industries. So thank you so much for that. So how did you guys like our podcast today? How was your experience today in the podcast?
This is amazing. One thing I want to highlight, sitting with this and so comfortably on the couch, you know how comfortable this podcast will be. It cannot get any better. And especially with you two ladies, you know exactly what you're doing. So it is amazing. Thank you so much for having
No,
us.
thank you. That really makes a hell lot of a difference for us.
And it means a lot,
Yeah, it
coming
means
from
so
you.
much. Yeah, and y'all came from so far, and y'all took time to come here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Also, do you have a social media handle that you want to share?
Yes, exactly. I can provide you that,
Yes.
or people can reach out to me on Instagram, or we'll provide a contact number. My Instagram handle is Varsha Jaman.
Shivaraj Balegar.
Yes,
This is
Shivraj Balegar.
simple.
If you search, you will find him. My handle is there. My Facebook page is also there, and my phone number I'll drop it in the chat for you guys.
Yes. Also, as Sakshita already mentioned, you've given us so much insight about, your transition from your initial careers to financial advisory, and most importantly, financial well-being and mental health.
Yes.
It is definitely a great area of conversation we had. Also, working together as a couple, you all have shown that people can work together and reach amazing heights.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. That's truly something we want to share with our listeners too.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to get into the financial advisory field, so the thing is, we've had all amazing conversation, as we said, but now we are going to move to something fun. Okay, it's called a Fast Five with the Rice.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to ask you 5 questions.
Yeah.
Each of you answer, and you can just answer what comes into your mind first.
Okay.
Yeah.
One word.
One word, one
Oh, okay.
sentence. Up to you.
Okay. Wow. I'm all in.
All right. The first question is, what is one thing you love about Canada?
Okay. I cannot do this like.
You can. Yeah.
People don't quote me for this. I love snow.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
How about you, Shivaraj?
Opportunity.
Oh, that's good
Nice.
to hear. What's a hobby or skill you have picked up recently?
Oh, wonderful. Hobby or skill I have picked up recently. You will soon find me as an author.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Can't
You're
wait.
like a
Superwoman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to my coaches.
Yeah.
How about you, Shiva?
So hobby, I would say, like, I was not journaling now because of the side effect. So I started journaling that like every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's happening and it's helping me too.
It's not something what I do. Maybe I should reach out to you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
get
I'll
more
tell you the
info.
prompts. It's just 5 minutes a day makes such a big difference. How intentionally you start your morning, your day will continue with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. We both will reach out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
you're already doing.
I do, but I'm again like honestly, I'm not doing it like regularly.
Regularly.
I started and then I go for a month, and then somewhere something
Yeah, it
happens and I
happens.
stop.
The
But I think,
consistency
the
portion. Yeah,
consistency
yeah, yeah,
portion
yeah.
is something I need
Yeah.
to learn.
Learn, yeah.
Yeah. If you switch your career for one day, what would you switch it to?
Maybe lawyer.
Wow.
Because he keeps telling me you should have been become a lawyer because you
I
asked
think
too many questions.
every husband says that.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
husband
lawyer.
says that.
Yeah, I'll probably do a lawyer. Yeah, that's my career. Yeah.
How about you, Shivraj?
I want to be a healer. I should heal, a lot of people who are like, looking for that help. I'll be one day, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right now,
that's
if I
his
want to
career.
change something, yes, I want to be healer.
That's great to hear. So, what's best piece of advice you have received so far?
Piece of advice you have received so far that you have to let go of the things that doesn't serve you.
For me, it's as a network is net worth. So the more network you have, so it will help you in the long run. So try to build your network, especially in Canada. That helps a lot.
Right. Yeah. If you can describe Shivraj in one word, what would it be?
He's a package. I got this package.
How about you, Shivraj?
Oh, she's all rounder, I would say.
Okay.
Like,
We can
seen,
see
helped
that.
with the-
Very well.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So it was definitely a fun session. Overall, everything, the advice you've given in terms of finance, in terms of, health and well-being, yoga, everything, as I said, it was just a beautiful conversation we had with you both. And I'm sure it has inspired a lot of people to reach out in any form, be it financial advisory or be it, health and well-being, right?
Yeah.
Also, I want to definitely say that, working together as a couple, you can definitely reach big heights, I feel.
Yeah.
When you can work together, you can build a fort together,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much. We really enjoyed this conversation with you. And I'm sure our viewers also will enjoy this conversation. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much for having us, and even for viewers, thank you so much for viewing us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always, I think it's not every day that we hear, these. We sit with a dynamic couple like you both and talk about all these stuff. And me personally, like, after talking to you guys, after all this conversation, I'm feeling like, okay, I've known you from a couple of years now, but I'm not educated in your field. So I need help myself, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are many others who are thinking, in the same way.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for all the information you have given, and thank you for your time today, and thank you for everything.
Oh my God. Thank you for an amazing session. You guys made us feel like home. It was such a free flow and we really enjoyed speaking to you guys. Thank you so
And
much.
we have a small token of appreciation
Oh my God.
for you.
Yes.
We should get it for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
For making it here and giving us your time, because time is everything.
Yeah.
Time is precious, right?
Yes.
Yeah. To our viewers, thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. And do let us know how we did in this episode in the comments below.
And if you have a story to share, or if you know someone who has an inspiring story, do reach out to us at therightconnect@outlook.com. So until next time, this is Akshita and Pranita signing off from the Right Connect, where stories inspire and journeys unite. Thank you all.